Making chocolates is not as easy as it might seem, especially when you're aiming for high-quality artisanal products, which is why we were absolutely blown away when we met executive Chocolatier Stephanie Ceronio, who learned it all on her own.
Absolutely. Now, she's won silver twice at the International Chocolate Awards, where she put South Africa firmly on the map.
This is the story of a working mom who studied computer programming, then decided to teach herself to make chocolates and do what makes her happy.
Hi there, I'm Stephanie and I'm the executive chocolatier here at Jackrabbit Chocolate Studio. Welcome to our lab. We're artisanal chocolatiers, creating chocolate art from high quality ingredients. We try to make unique pieces of art that are edible and beautiful. Everything that we do, from bars to bonbons and our chocolate-coated products, is always a new chocolate experience. I love everything about chocolate. I love the way that it smells, the way that it tastes, the way that it makes you feel when you eat it, when you receive it, when you give it as a gift, when you work with it, how it's so technically challenging. It's like a teenager, that it has a mind of its own, and that you think that you know everything about chocolate, but you don't. There's just lots of influences that can change the way that you are going to have to work with the chocolate on that day. If it's too humid, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if the air is too dry, if you warmed it up too quickly, if you warmed it up too slowly, if you worked with it too slowly. It has so much to give as a compound that I feel like I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly getting challenged.
When people began to research Stephanie's brand and arrive at her house asking for chocolate, it was time for a shop. In a few short years, these handmade masterpieces in their edible paintwork have won gold in Budapest and silver and bronze at the International Chocolate Awards in London.
I think in patisserie and chocolate work specifically, it's very easy to try and copy international pastry chefs in their style and their flavors. I think in South Africa, everyone has the idea that using French chocolate or using French ingredients and doing things that French chefs are doing or international chefs are doing is the best thing to do. And I think that in that we lose our identity. And so we try and use some of the South African flavors or South Africanize some of our chocolates so that it is still local, it's still us. We can use imported ingredients and we can use influence from overseas, that we still maintain our South Africanness in that. So we have done some really wonderful chocolate bars using msombo, so that's the African nightshade. We enjoy using rooibos in our chocolate production, and of course we have our milk tart chocolate. So when we are making our bonbons, they are all each hand-painted and handmade. Each chocolate has between 4 to 8 different colors on each of them, and each step of the process is done by us here by hand. And each one is like a little blank canvas, and we have the opportunity to hand paint each one, and although they share the same theme, each one is completely unique.
For this distinctive paint technique, they use cocoa butter mixed with edible colorants.
So while Lucia's busy applying her first layer of color onto her molds, we're going to do a similar thing into our bonbon molds. So we're going to start with splatting our molds, and this is the first step that we do. A lot of people think that it's actually our last step and that we paint afterwards, but we actually paint first. And so we've got our first layer of color that we're going to be doing. We've got our cocoa butter that's ready to go, and we're just using a paintbrush, and all we're going to be doing is splatting some color into the mold. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do quite a free, natural swish inside the mold with our color, and we can just turn it around and then we can see the effect so far. So once you've finished painting all of your chocolate molds and you're ready to proceed, the next step is tempering, which is what Christy's starting to do over here. So her temperature of the chocolate that's in the bowl is at T1, which is our highest temperature. So we use this motion where we spread it out onto the table and we bring it back together so that we can cool it rapidly all at the same time, so that we don't have some patches that are over-tempered and some that are under-tempered, because we don't want uneven crystallization of the chocolates.
Chocolate has a lot of ups and downs as well. It's not the perfect thing that everybody just imagines working with chocolate. It is very physical. It is a lot of working, it's a lot of standing, it's a lot of moving around. So it basically is CrossFit in a kitchen.
I love that challenge of working with something that's so dynamic and delicious. And regardless of how beautiful or how ugly it looks, in the end of the day, it's still an incredible product to eat and to enjoy. And I think that's what I really love about chocolate.
As bold in spirit as her chocolates are in flavor, Stephanie is currently exporting to Japan, and if all goes to plan, they'll soon be listed in Harrods.